Welcome to the Pregnancy Loss Podcast, the place I created for moms like us. Pregnancy loss is all-encompassing and creates an overarching theme that runs through our lives forever. We have to learn to live with and beside the grief of losing our baby. We have to learn how to live again, how to parent again, how to engage and interact and be social again, how to communicate effectively to connect with our spouses and significant others. We have to find who we are now. I'm here to empower and inspire you to live a life even with our unique circumstances. We cannot change what happened, but we can grow and use that strength and resilience to create a life that we love. I'm here to share everything I know about grief, motherhood, loss, marriage, friendship, and parenting. I'm here to encourage you to find the beautiful side of grief, the side where we don't have to isolate ourselves or suppress the need to share stories, the side where you have moms just like you to support and encourage you. The side where we become the best versions of ourselves, not in spite of our loss, but thanks to it. Pregnancy loss is devastating, but it can also be an opportunity to reflect on who we were and who we want to become. So join me every Tuesday for a new episode on the Pregnancy Loss Podcast. Let's jump in. Hey, love. So happy you're here today. We're going to talk about maintaining your role as a parent when you're grieving. This can pertain to other things other than stillbirth or miscarriage, but we're going to talk to it in regards to pregnancy loss. So how to parent after stillbirth or miscarriage. Now, maintaining your role as a parent when you're grieving after a loss, it's super challenging. But there are definitely strategies and little things and ways you can navigate this journey. So here are some definite actionable, I won't say easy, but actionable ways to help. Number one, now this is everybody's buzzword, self-care, but prioritizing self-care. Now that looks different for everybody. And surface level, yes, that means hygiene, showering, maybe getting your nails done, things like that, things that are so commonly talked about in our society. But there's definitely more to that. But okay, let's go back. So when you're grieving and you're in a place of this deep despair and sadness, it is physically hard to move, even to do the most mundane tasks. Getting up to refill your water bottle, getting up to get the controller, sitting there debating for an hour whether to get up to go to the bathroom. Those are just some things that I experienced after I lost Evelyn. I just wanted to sit on the couch and die. Not literally, okay? Just that's how my feelings and emotions had me feeling. Now, it is so essential that you try to take the best care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Okay. If you've lost somebody, if you've any type of loss, you know, grief can be draining. Losing a child, I really can't describe it other than, draining, life killing. So making sure you're getting enough rest, eating well, and finding healthy ways to cope can be difficult, but you have to do it. So I always say you need these 4 things. And it's nothing new. It's what you know, but you might need somebody else to say it. You need sleep, you need sunshine, you need to move your body, and you need water. Now, food is a given. Don't come at me for that. But there is so much evidence to support these modalities of healing. And they're simple. They go back thousands of years for the simple things that our body needs to even function properly. So I believe that these are the 4 most important things you can do for yourself every day. Now, you do not have to overcomplicate it. So if you have kids, other living kids, put them in a stroller and go outside for a walk. Take a bottle of water with you and make it a goal to drink it while you're walking. Boom. You have water, movement, sunshine. And then just go to bed an hour earlier than you typically do, which I know is so much harder. So much harder than just saying that, because I always say I'm going to go to bed a little earlier. And then it's like 2 hours later than I said I would go to bed. And yeah, it's just a whole mess. But just take these small actions. I know that for me, I always try to be perfect when I'm trying something new, and that always fails. So don't do that. Just take these small actions because they will eventually give up big wins. It doesn't have to be perfect. I know it's hard. I know you're grieving, but just do it. And a fun fact, I'm going to add in some facts here throughout this podcast episode, but sun and movement allow our bodies to release serotonin, which is a mood stabilizer chemical. So these small steps will give your body the chemicals it needs to keep going. Number 2, seeking support. I know how hard it is to ask for help. Oh, it's so hard. Sometimes it cringe sometimes. But when you don't know what you need and there's no solution to what is wrong, it's even harder asking for help. But this is one of those situations where you need to lean on your support network, whether it's family, friends, or a support group. You do not have to go through this alone. Do you know any right now who's gone through loss? Is this a person you could talk to or have a weekly check-in with? Do you have a support group? There are some wonderful support groups out there, and quite a few of them are virtual. I suggest asking in mom groups on Facebook in your area or surrounding cities. I really highly recommend going off recommendations for grief groups and things like that rather than a Google search, but do what you can. You can find a therapist who can support you through your grief and healing journey. This, again, I know it can take time to find the right person, and make sure you're finding a grief counselor, not just a regular therapist who may or may not have gone through grief or loss or doesn't specialize in it. Ask friends and family to help with the kids, animals, grocery shopping, or cleaning. You will find strength in asking for help because the help they're giving you it allows you to let go of those responsibilities that you have, but you do not have the capacity for. And when you can save that time to heal and feel better, it gives you strength. But again, it's like a muscle. You have to keep using it for it to get easier. So you have to learn how to ask for help. I think it's a skill. Another thing is spending time with friends and loved ones. Here's another fact for you. Spending time with friends and loved ones releases the oxytocin hormone, aka the love hormone. So that's another feel-good chemical. So if you see what I'm trying to show you here and trying to do is that you're stacking these small mini steps, but and also looking at not just the one big thing it does for you, but the little things inside of your body that it does for you that you're not noticing. These things will help you in more than one way. So you're going to be connecting and you're going to have positive chemical inducing, okay? Just what your grieving soul needs. I also recommend enlisting the help of your family members, friends, or caregivers to assist with parenting tasks, grocery shopping, laundry, dishes, anything you do not need to be doing right now. I had an amazing military community surrounding me after Evelyn died. My family is far away. My best friend flew out a week or two after Evelyn died and spent the week with me. That was amazing. But I had women in the community that I wasn't even necessarily friends with. We were just acquaintances and knew each other and said hi once in a while. They were bringing me food. They were coming in and cleaning. They were dropping coffees off at my doorstep, taking my kids for an activity in the afternoon. Like, it literally gave me the strength to survive, honestly. So the third thing is professional help. So again, not everyone feels comfortable going to therapy, but if you find your grief is overwhelming and affecting your ability to parent, consider seeking support. They can provide you with tools to cope and navigate your grief while being a parent. And they have the ability to, if things are escalated, they can help you find more resources. Okay. Number 4 is communicating with your children. So, effective communication with your children while you're grieving is hard. Just communicating with your kids in general is hard without the grief. So, you can imagine, Um, remember, what and how you talk to your children can depend on their age and understanding. I always encourage families to have open and honest conversations with your children about grief. Make sure to use age appropriate language and answer their questions to the best of your ability without lying or being vague. Now, I did just do a podcast episode about 10 ways to help your grieving child. And so some of this stuff may sound similar, and that's because it is. But it's also a wonderful episode to check out if you need that. So this one has always been tricky for me because I wanted to make sure that there's a balance, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't throwing all of my emotions or feelings on my girls, especially without John being home. He was on a 7-month deployment when I gave birth to Evelyn at 40 weeks and 5 days, as my stillbirth. So the girls and I spent all of our time together, and sometimes it was hard not to just sit there and cry when I was cuddling with them and being reminded that Evelyn should be there too. But I always let them know that I was sad and that it was okay and it's normal and that mommy will be okay soon. I just needed to let my sadness out. I would tell them that I miss Evelyn and I wish she could be with us. I just used simple language that was familiar. Another piece that goes with this is learning how to express emotions together. So some people think you shouldn't be expressing your emotions in front of your children. But it is okay to show your emotions in front of your children. This teaches them that it's normal to feel sad and to be able to express those feelings in a safe environment. And you can share your grief and your emotions with each other, and in the process, know you're not alone and know that this is a normal grieving reaction. I will also say to allow your children to ask questions and express their feelings without a negative emotional response from you, because that makes them the message that they can't talk to you. Okay. And we want to encourage them to talk about their baby brother or sister. We want to be their safe space so that they can process how they're feeling and to learn how to be vulnerable in the safe space, which is you. Sorry guys, if this is a lot of information, but I'm on a roll. Anyways, number 5, maintain your routines. Us as adults and children, we find comfort in routines. So try to maintain a sense of normalcy as much as possible. Consistency can provide them with a sense of stability during this grieving period. So a month after Evelyn died and John had been home for a month, he headed back to a ship on deployment, and the girls and I went back to our daily summer routine, which was normal. So this consisted of playing outside in the neighborhood with her friends, having the babysitter come over, going on walks. We kept it simple but routine. They always knew it was coming next. And that brought us comfort, knowing what was coming and how our days would be shaped. So there was just relief in our simple, normal steps. Number 6 is to be patient with yourself, remembering that grief is a process and that it's okay to have days when you're struggling more than others. Healing after losing a baby is anything but linear. It's a goddamn roller coaster. You'll be feeling okay for weeks, and then one morning you'll just get hit like you've been smacked upside the head, and you're grieving, like crying and unconsolable and not knowing what's going on. And I thought I was doing better. And just know that's normal. You're going to have these waves, more so in the beginning. So be patient with yourself and acknowledge the emotions. I feel like a lot of us have expectations, I know I did, that we should be better by a certain time or day or year. And when we aren't, we think that we failed, and we fill ourselves with guilt and shame that we aren't feeling better yet and that we haven't healed. From what I have learned is that And don't let this discourage you from healing, but you will never fully be healed. A piece of you was broken and you can't put it back together the way it was. It will never be whole again because that piece is missing. But that doesn't mean you won't feel better or even become better than you were before. Having patience with yourself just means to give yourself space to grow. You have to lower your expectations and just let things be. Let your emotions and your feelings live within you and work themselves out while you grieve. It will always take more time than you thought to heal. Remember that. Number 7, create special moments. I know, a lot. Despite the grief, try to create positive moments with your children. This doesn't have to be extravagant. Just do activities that bring you joy and laughter, even if it's for a short time. So for us, it's board games. It was puzzles, watching Frozen 2, and Moana over and over again, or any other silly movie, and really just sitting and soaking in all the love and cuddles together. One day, you will come to realize that it is all about love. At the end of the day, love is what will make it okay. And 8, lastly, take breaks. This is more important than you know. It's okay to take breaks and have some time to yourself when needed. It's okay to get that babysitter to come watch your kids, even if you just need to go upstairs and cry or sob and take a shower or sit in the closet. Guys, I sat in the closet for hours at a time, crying, laying on the floor. I didn't know what else to do. But take healthy breaks, which can help you recharge and to come back to your parenting role with a new energy. Your children will see that you're taking care of yourself, and that will also give them a sense of normalcy if that's what you typically do, and that mom is okay. It's even better if these breaks are outside with some fresh air and sun, or if you're in a warm place, go swimming. It's so healing. Water is healing. So take a break in water. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to grieve or parent during this time. There's literally no guidebook. I'm just trying to give you a path that helped me and that can help you. The key is to find a balance that works for you and your family, and allowing space for both your grief and your role as a parent, because they go hand in hand at the end of the day. Phew, that was a lot. Guys, if you guys are loving the podcast, if you could please do me a small favor, leave me a review. It really helps other people find my episodes and my podcast in general. And it would just be amazing if you could do that for me. And share this with somebody. Share it with somebody who's parenting after a loss, or somebody you think who would get something from it. I just want to share this with the world. I want to share it with other moms. I want to help moms heal. I want them to know that they're not alone. You're not alone. We're all in this together. And I am making it a priority for me to help you. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and listening. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Pregnancy Loss Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I created a guide on 20 ways to celebrate your angel baby. It gives you 20 amazing ways to celebrate their birthdays, or ways to just remember them on any given day. If you want to download it, head over to valenweb.com/resources and click the link. I hope you guys have a great week. See you next time.